Good morning guys from Lower Ladysden Farm. I'm back. We have wildflowers everywhere. But what I've come to see really is when we'll fly the drone down here once the sun comes around a little bit more, so it's not too bad. Because we've got sunflowers there and other wildflowers. I don't know if you can see through there, the trees. The sunflower meadow as such. There's loads of different stuff being grown. But we have the maize as well, which is just here. So through there, the maize has grown quite nicely. So it's getting there. I mean, when I photographed it a few weeks ago, it was right down to half the height of this small one here. So it's grown up heavily, like quite a lot. So yeah, we have lots of sunflowers. So it was quite funny. They said, oh, the sunflowers are up, got no flowers yet. So people can come and pick these, so they come and chop them off or whatever. But how beautiful are these? And the bees are loving them as well, so you can see a bee on there. So yeah, really cool. So I'm going to fly the drone across the top of them, so it should look rather beautiful. And then I've got the RX10 Mark IV with me as well to snap some shots. I thought about bringing the A1, but when you're carrying the drone, it's actually really handy having this setup, because obviously the RX10 can do so much. Oh, the size of this one can do so much, but in lightweight form. So yeah, it's huge. Yeah, there's loads of them. So we'll take off from down here where I did last time, just because it's a big open space and I don't want to be near the trees as such. And we'll just do a little flight on there, have a little look around the farm as well, try out the new firmware update that has now been done, and we'll have a look at the maze again as well, because I did some photos of that. But today it's just about 8 AM, I think just 5 past or something, and it's going to be one of the hottest days of the year, so everyone's panicking at the moment. 35 to 40 degrees, hence why I'm out early. Yeah, so we'll do a little flight across there, and then I'm going to head home and literally chill in the shade all day, but I'm going to do editing, so that was my plan. But yeah, some stunning views. There is the river down the bottom there, which I might have a little walk down to actually. There's also a lake hidden away, but yeah, flowers everywhere. I'm not sure what these are growing, but yeah, anyway, let's get the drone set up and have a fly. Well guys, it seems to be flying rather nicely actually. It seems smoother, a bit neater, and I can hear, buzzards. Hopefully I'll be able to get a shot of them. Don't know. Yeah, I'm just going to move the RX10 and the bag and everything quickly into the shade, because it's starting to get warmer. So I'm just going to literally chuck the bag and everything in here, over here quickly, just so it's cooler. And out the way. So then we can take off and do some more flying. So let's do that.
The whole point has been updated. Please check it on the map.
Which is cool. And it's ready to go within literally less than 10 seconds once I turned it back on again, it seemed to be, which is really good. So that was cool. Right, I shot the whole lot in manual So let's fly over here again. Maybe let's put the screen recording on again. So we're in auto mode this time, as you can see, and before we were in like pro mode, you know, manual mode, manual exposure and everything like that. So let's turn it around into the yellow, which actually looks really cool. Bring it down a bit. This one I'm going to fly in C mode just because it's a little bit slower, a little bit more control, just a bit smoother, because I'm not in a hurry. I just want to come down and fly between here and just show you guys the, in fact I might just go outweigh that line because that's not particularly great. Right, there we go. If I'm going a bit too quick, there we go, it's a bit more of a smooth setting. If we zoom in a bit, it makes it look like it's a bit more. There we go, look at that, that's pretty nice. So yeah, I've gently got my finger, I use mode 3, so forward on the left stick, left and right, and then up and down and steer left and right on the right sticks. So I've got a constant, very small adjustment on the right stick pulling me down, because I'm up quite high up there and it drops down the field. So I'm just cruising along, bringing the drone down very slightly. I also zoomed in at 1.5 times. And at a nice steady speed. 1.1 meters per second. And I'll just let off the down stick, and I'm just cruising through. It's not the biggest sunflower field in the world, because in the UK we don't really grow that many, I don't think. In France and places like that you do, you see millions of the bloody things, but it just looks stunning. So we're going to come up here one evening, hopefully Wednesday, with a model, sort of sunsetty dusk time, and do some shots. So hopefully it looks quite cool. So the reason I'm stood also in the shade, which is over there, get back into normal mode, I'm over there, is because I was going to fly down this field here. I'd be in shot, which is obviously not brilliant, I do. So where's that? Oh, we're in the maze, I think. Is that where we are? No, this way a bit. Aha, that's the main path. Should have a little drive around the maze. We can cheat and take little shortcuts, but it does look quite cool. At the moment I'm up quite a little bit of height. Got to watch out for those little trees. But yeah, it's starting to grow nicely. Plenty of birds about. So we'll have a look around the maze. So the paths are there, looking quite nice now. It was probably perfect time to photograph it before, because I expect if I look straight down, yeah, it's not as obvious. Now it's got a bit bushier. When I go up a bit higher, yeah, you can see the paths a bit easier actually. But before, when it was all new, as in like only about a foot high, it was a lot better to photograph. So I'm actually quite glad I did photograph it at that moment in time, which is cool. No big bug, but yeah. So I'm gonna take a few pictures, I think. The cool thing is I'm recording on the GoPro, so you can see the screen, but also it means I can use this overlay. That's a woodpecker. Okay. I'll just push the wrong button because I'm an idiot. There we go. Take a picture. Okay. Actually, looks quite rather nice. Yeah, it looks rather lush, which is quite amazing really, considering everything else is not at all. Let's go up high. Oh, I'll tell you what I was going to have a look at was the old trees that had fallen down up the top. But let's go to video for this. So I changed it to flat, the cine, like, so you lose all the colours and it's very.
Maximum flight altitude reached.
So it's 88 metres up at the minute, which is plenty high enough for what I need at the minute. Yeah, the is it cine like or whatever it's called? So it's a bit of a flat profile, so I can colour grade. So I'm starting to experiment with that now a little bit, which is quite cool. And in Premiere Pro I found a couple of ones I quite like when I'm doing the auto grading. Basically, it looks quite nice. There's the platform for the maze, and that's the sunflower meadow there. Looking from above it looks a bit barren, but that's what it looks like. Should go into manual mode and see how different that. The exposure. Let's drop it down a bit. Maybe that looks a bit better. That's cool. Looking over the top there. Over the tree. I think it's fantastic when you're flying over the trees, and it's just the way you sort of get that 3D feel. It looks really, really cool. The shadowing and everything looks quite nice too. Which is nice. That's the edge. So I'm going to stop that. I'm going to go look up over there. Let's maybe take a couple of shots of the area. The only problem I've got to worry about over here is that we have pylons, big ones. So there's a couple of spots where I have to fly up over them. But it is what it is, and they actually look quite cool in some of the shots as well. So yeah, looks quite cool. So I generally fly my drone batteries down to 50%, and a couple of people said, why'd you do that? This seems a bit crazy. I said, well, one, I've got 3 of them, and I don't do a lot of flying really compared to a lot of people, so me to cycle through the batteries is a good thing. So you're constantly going 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3, and also if you think about it, 1, you're not stressing the batteries so much, and 2, you're also it allows you faster charging, because literally if you're at 50% it's only going to take you half the time to charge them back up. So you know, that's a good thing too. There's that tree I was going to look at, and my phone's just gone bing. Right, I'm just gonna. That was Gasoline Alley on the phone, so we've got some stuff to do Wednesday, which is quite exciting. It's super early morning as well, which is really cool. Right, so we've got that tree there, if you can see it. Let's zoom in. That's a fallen down dead tree, which is pretty cool. I saw it before, and I thought, well, that's pretty crazy. I'm sure there's another one actually, which I'd seen. And the hay fever started again. There's the platform, so that's cool. I was going to do a platform view. Oh, that's not lovely. It's just appeared. It's weird. I'm really strange with this hay fever thing. It makes me like, it's weird. I'm like, 1 minute I don't have it, the next minute I do, and I might sneeze 10 times, and then I'm fine again, which is strange, but whatever. Right, let's bring it down. In fact, let's bring her up, and then. So the Mini 3 seems to be really well behaved today compared to what it was before. A little bit juddery here or there, and the random loss of screen. It seemed to work completely flawlessly for me. At this part here, I was still not that far away from the drone itself, but I did take it further afield to the same sort of distance I was flying along the beach the other day, and it was absolutely fine. They're saying that all the bugs that were causing issues have been nailed out or ironed out or whatever, so that's really, really cool. So confidence getting better and better in the drone, and I'm flying higher than I was. Like I said before, I don't fly a long way away from where I am because I'm generally on the location where I want to fly, and I will be flying sort of around certain things, like the sunflowers, for example, on 100 feet away or whatever. So for me, the drone is absolutely perfect for what I need. It does brilliantly. I went 500 and something meters away, which I can just about see the drone in the air. I think anything further than that is just really pushing your luck for the safety side of things. I know a lot of people just do it anyway, but you know, it is up to you at the end of the day. For me, it gives me plenty of space, plenty of flying distance as well. So obviously it gives you roughly a kilometre of flying distance from 500 meters away from you, and then past you, and then over to the other side. So right guys, so I've done the flying with the drone, and now I'm just at the side of the sunflower field there. You can see it's not hugely wide, but it's quite long. So got the RX-10 Mark IV. I thought perfect camera really to start photographing, because I can get really close from a distance without having to go in there. Like I say, we're going to try and come back here and do a bit of a photo shoot with the model one evening, and as the sun goes down, which should be over there somewhere, and then I've got lighting as well. I've got the Rotolight AOS obviously, so we can shoot some interesting sort of quite nice shots. We're probably going to go a bit like an American theme, you know, cowboy hat, jeans and stuff. It might look quite nice, but also maybe a flowery sort of summery dress, something like that might look really, really cool as well. So we'll see how that works. We've also got the maze that we can utilise, and the platform that's over there somewhere as well. So yeah, I thought I'd just snap away. And so I don't know if you can hear me over there, but you've got obviously the option of zooming in on stuff from miles away without even having to go over there. Get off the fence, right. Oh blimey, so this definitely affects me a little bit today. But saying that, I'm running stuff filled with flowers in, so pollen could be an issue. What birds they are. There's crows up there, which may be causing dramas. But like I say, we can step over. So this is really clever. This is like a organic plastic that basically biodegrades. You can see it's already doing it. It's starting to break down and disappear into the ground. It's very clever. Really, really cool. So obviously having the RX-10 Mark IV with me, it allowed me to actually not have to go really too far into the sunflowers to get the shots. I could actually stand back and just zoom in
on a lot of them, and they're pretty big. So even at 600mm, I was backing out to about 400 in some cases. But it gives you a nice blurred background at 600mm, as you can see there, and even better in some other terms as well. And I can get quite close to the bees without disturbing them. So 600mm, stand back about 72 centimeters, and you can get shots like this, and that with a nice little bit of bokeh in the background, and it just works rather well. I still love this camera to bits, and it just shows you in good light it's an absolute brilliant bit of kit, and actually puts to shame a lot of more expensive cameras as well. So anyway, that was that bit with the photos, and then a little bit of slow motion, 500 frames per second with the RX10, 600mm f5.6, and this one's dropping loads of pollen everywhere, but it just showed you it was pretty cool and how they did. I just did one little clip, and then I was back up with the drone again, and I flew it down across the woods there and then along the river, which you'll see shortly. The pylons are actually roughly where the map icon is on the behind there on the main video, but yeah, you'll see I'm zooming in on the wires. I'm trying to find them because I couldn't really see the pylons. I knew to my left where it was. I was just trying to work out where it was. And the last thing I want to do is really hit a pylon or the cables. Not ideal. So thinking about that all the time. So I went way above. But it gives me a beautiful view. So that was well worth it in the terms of flying over there. But as you can see here, there is the pond and everything. But it's really cool looking down at the ground. You can see how crops are growing or haven't grown. You can see how the grass is damaged by vehicles, where they've been driving around. There's loads of stuff you can see from the air, and it's amazing. It just gives you a completely different view of what's going on. There you go. I've increased my maximum distance now, just because it wasn't quite far enough, and I just carried on flying for a bit just to see if it was behaving unlike before when it went black screen of death kind of thing.
That's cool. There's the pond. Which is nice. So let's take a photo and see what it looks like. Can't really see it. We have taken a picture. While we're up that height, let's look that way. Look down a bit, because the river runs along here. That's a really pretty, really quite pretty down there actually. So it's quite funny, I'm close to the distance that I was. If I'm just going to walk this side a little bit just so I know roughly, well, I'm not in line with this bush. When I went down the cliffs, and yeah, it's super fine. There's the bridge, which is quite cool, but it's quite proper old school, well, not old school, like a proper rickety old bridge. It was quite cool. So it was one thing we could go down and use that for the photo shoot when we came. Some more crops and stuff there, which look cool. Nice meadow. I like this farm because it's like there's lots of little fields rather than just like one massive one kind of thing. Like in America, places like that. Well, actually, saying that, in some of the country around here, there is some big farms where the fields are huge. Like if you head up towards Salisbury and places like that, where there's massive fields, there are some huge acreage, which is obviously huge. But this is quite a smallish farm really, but it's well laid out, and they can do such a lot of stuff as well. So it's really cool. So yeah, that's so sort of. Oh, we've lost a bit of range there. which is weird because it's almost like if the antenna is, it must be at the back of the drone, because it only really happens sometimes for me anyway. Or is it in this bush? Because I'm now this side of the bush. Maybe I need to go this side of the bush. Does it make a difference? Oh yeah, yeah, look, literally. So that bush is obviously quite dense. So yeah, there we go. Now I'm actually going to take a picture of the farm from here. Right, let's bring her back.
These ones? Do you want to have a go? Okay. We're going to get some of the purple ones as well. You have to cut it right at the bottom. Right down here, look. Right here. Good boy.
Just so you know, I've got a drone above you. Well, not above you, above you. It's up there, yeah. It's not bees, don't worry.
So it was pushing towards 25 degrees by now, and I was a little bit aware of the operating temperatures of the drone, which I think is up to 40 degrees Celsius. Obviously you've got to remember, it's not what the temperature is in the air, because that's generally from the shade, it's the direct sunlight as well. And obviously I was flying around, but a lot of the time I was hovering, so I was a little bit concerned about that. So I brought it back down. My batteries were getting down to 50% on each one roughly anyway. I think I went slightly further on one of them, but yeah, brought it into to land and everything, and got it down. Had a really good morning, really impressed, and you know, finally got rid of all the little bugs and niggly bits that were causing us, well, not all of us, but some of us, some dramas, including the black screen when I was flying out to sea, which was a bit worrying, because I didn't know if it was still in the air, if it had just fallen out of the sky and gone plop. But other than that, yeah, no, really happy that it was behaving itself, flying beautifully. Obviously lovely weather as well, and then bring it into land like you see. But yeah, anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and any questions or anything about, or comments about the DJI Mini 3 Pro, let us know below, and don't forget to click the subscribe button, little notification bell as well, and I'll see you soon.